Are we going to see your go in her mouth?
No.
His DNA.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Meet Me in the Basement. It's episode 46. I'm going to start right off by apologizing to you. We missed last week's episode. I promised you guys an episode a week. We did that for about 9 weeks, and I messed up. I'm not going to make any excuses. A lot going on. I messed up. Didn't happen, so I apologize. We'll try to be better about that. So, anyways, let's get right back into it. It's episode 46. We're still striving for that episode 50. It's going to be a week later than we thought it would be, but, we'll still get there. We're trucking right along. So, I just want to thank you guys for sticking along for the ride. Let's get right into it. So, we have the Boston Celtics. Won a championship. Pretty excited about that. I may be a casual fan, but I called it. Told y'all. Joe Mazzulla's the man. Everyone who's talking shit about him can suck a fat bag of peepees because he coached them to a championship in his second year coaching. And not only that, he's a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, so badass. Trains under Gracie Baja, if I'm not mistaken. Not only that, he makes the Celtics watch UFC fights before every game to get that killer instinct going, so gotta respect that. He also uses Alex Pereira, who is a big inspiration of mine, big guy that I like. He uses him as an example. Yeah. I almost said examining point. I don't know what the fuck that was about. But yeah, uses Alex Pereira as an example of like how to maintain that killer instinct, talking about when he got kicked in the nuts and 5 seconds later he's getting the knockout victory because he just stays like nothing's going to get him out of that no matter what anyone does, no external factors. He's not going to lose his focus, and that's what he tried to instill in these guys. So, awesome to see Joe Mazzulla get the accrediting that he should. Maybe some people still talking shit. Bunch of haters, if you ask me. I don't really give a shit. Cry about it. Tell Doncic to hit the weight room. See you next year. I don't know what to tell you. Either way, awesome. I'm going to stop talking shit because, it's not fair to punch down, as they would say. Whatever. Moving on. We had a pretty good fight card last night. Bobby Knuckles, once again showing why he's one of the best in the world. First round knockout, not much to say about it, he just really showed the different levels to it. I'm happy to see it for him. There's a lot going on, as you know. He was supposed to be fighting Khamzat Chimaev, who pulled out because he was sick. It is what it is, and there is something going around. I'm sick right now, too. Thank you, Halls, for keeping us in the game. In fact, I'm going to pop one of them right now. We'll be back in a second. Papa Halls, I'm tripping. Let's go, baby. We're back. All right, so had to get that going so I'm not getting a dry mouth. I don't want to annoy you guys with that ASMR lip-smacking goodness from a dry mouth. Anyways, as we were saying, Bobby Knuckles, awesome first-round knockout. Another victory or two for him, and you will see him in a title shot. I'd like to see him versus Strickland, I don't want to see... I feel bad saying that because both fighters kind of, deserve their shot, so I don't want to be like, do it again. Get in the cage. Fight for our entertainment. Go for it. But, either I would like to see both of them guys square off before one of them fights for a belt. They got time now that Izzy versus Driscus is booked officially. So that would be cool. We also had Volkan, or I do that every time. I almost said Volkan Ozdemir, who did also have a crazy knockout on that fight. But anyways, Alexander Volkov with the decision win over Sergey Pavlovich. Great fight. Sergey was a little butthurt after, but Volkov just stayed back, used that jab. He went into southpaw, so I love the southpaws. As a fellow southpaw, it's fun to watch. Just technically picked him apart. Pavlovich did land some power throughout the fight, and I will say that Volkov put himself into some danger. One thing, the very first lesson you got to learn if you're a southpaw is that the whole fight is the battle of the lead foot. And if you have your lead foot on the inside and their lead foot is on the outside, you're not leaving yourself a whole lot of options because your backhand is kind of at the wrong angle. If you try to throw it, you're going to be throwing it this way, and they're more over here. So it's really kind of out of line. You got to go over yourself. I got the microphone stand in the way, so that's awkward, I know. But you have to punch over yourself and over your own weight to get to them. Not only that, you have to attack more from the lead side, which isn't always best in an open stance against an orthodox fighter. So what happens is you're fighting with that lead hand and the lead leg, and you're kind of turning yourself and giving your back to your opponent almost, so that you're setting it up like this. Their power shot's coming from right here. They got their lead hook over the top. They can blast your leg. You put yourself in some danger with there, and Volkov was definitely in some danger in some spots, but he did a good job of backing away, keeping his guard up. I'm starting to get out of breath. I gotta relax. We go through this every time right around this marker, right around the 5-6 minutes in. You gotta relax, boy. You gotta relax. That's what I always tell myself. You gotta relax. So, anyways, it was a good night of fights. Shira Bullet, he had kind of a weird one go on with Trocoli. Trocoli kind of stopped fighting after the first 6 minutes. So that was super weird. Just kind of became a punching bag. I know everyone's saying it, but it was just super weird. So, I mean, you're going to hear a lot of that. The other thing, too, was the fence grab. I know a lot of people are talking shit. I got to say, I am not the biggest Marc Goddard fan. So, I don't know what it is. I know a lot of people who know him personally say he's a good guy. He just left a bad taste in my mouth a couple times. And, it's a personal vendetta that I hold, and maybe I'm wrong in doing so. But either way, I want to say that because what I'm about to say is kind of contradictory to where it seems the rest of the fan base is lying. So, there were 3 fence grabs total in that fight with Shira Bullet and Trocoli. The first 2, Trocoli had Shira up against the fence, and he reached around, and he grabbed the fence to hold Shira in and keep him there when Shira was fighting and trying to get out of that position. So, that's bad. Marc Goddard warns him again. Both were pretty bad, so he takes away the position on the second one. Fight goes on. Anyways, after being a punching bag for a couple minutes, Trocoli has Shira up against the fence again, so he goes to go for a takedown. I think it was a single leg. He goes to turn him, and Shira really blatantly grabbed the fence. Really, really blatantly. So a lot of people are really pissed at Marc Goddard. He said something, but he didn't make a big deal of it, didn't give a hard warning. He just kind of was like, hey, none of that. And then the fight continued. He stayed on the feet. People were saying, hey, maybe they should have put them on the ground for that. What was up with that? You change positions when Trocoli did it, but then Shira does it and you don't. Here's my take. I think that because Trocoli had done it twice, he didn't suffer any consequences, really. He lost the position, but he wasn't doing anything with it. So, that happens. Shira grabs the fence, and I think Marc Goddard was like, okay, well, I let it go 2 times for him, and all I did was give him a warning, so I gotta really give him a warning here. I'm not gonna have him lose position, because not only that, how can you give him the position? Because the only thing you really can't, you could say, oh, he was going to half guard, he could have been in full guard, you don't know. What position would they have ended up in after the takedown? That you can't just put them in a random position. So, all you really can do is take a point. But if you take a point, that's not really fair because you didn't take a point when Trocoli did it twice. So what's fair? All he can really do is let it go on, and whatever happens again, if it happens again for either man, then you take a point. So I agree with Marc Goddard. I don't like him. I know that's irrational, but I'm with him. So I got your back, Mark. I may never have it again, but I got it right now. So I'm with you. All right, on top of that, we got Paige Van Zandt is going into Power Slap because I guess she's just doing the year of things that no one asked for with the boxing match against the OnlyFans model first that went to a draw, so no one wanted to see it, and no one was impressed afterwards. Now she's doing Power Slap. I don't know about you. I personally fucking hate Power Slap. I have them blocked on all social media, and they still managed to get to me through the UFC and through ESPN's social medias, so whatever. I don't like it. Power Slap is dumb. Paige Van Zandt, I have a lot of respect for you, so please stop doing stupid shit. If you want to fight, fight, but do it in the real stuff, because no one wants to see Power Slap. Maybe Booty Slap. I saw that in Russia. You could do that one. I don't want to be misogynist, but I'd watch that. But that's all I got to say about that one. Sorry. So with that, we will just real quick get into UFC 303. Conor McGregor versus Chandler. Out. Carlos Ulberg versus Jamal Hill. Out. Carlos is fighting Anthony Smith now. Now the co-main is Brian Ortega. Who's he fighting? Someone good. Who the fuck is Brian fighting in the co-main event? Let's look it up. I forget already. I'm going to be so mad when I see it. That's crazy. This is why you shouldn't smoky before you start filming. Because you forget shit. Let's see. Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez. Going to be a sick fight. A lot of scrambles, I'm guessing. A lot of submission attempts, I'm guessing. That's going to be a fucking sick fight. I don't know how I forgot about that. That's crazy. That's crazy. Sorry. I guess I suck. So we got that is the new co-main event. Anthony Smith versus... Oh, no. Carlos Ulberg's out now, too. So now it's Anthony Smith versus Roman Dolidze for the third fight from last. Crazy. This card is all over the place. It's fucking cursed. Then, of course, at the top, we got Alex Pereira taking on Jiri Prochazka in a rematch. Once again, saving the day again because they need a last-minute title fight, and these guys step up. That's just what they're about, dude. They're all about it. First fight, we'll talk about it briefly. It was second round knockout for Alex Pereira. It was like 4 minutes in. I think it was exactly 4 minutes. Yeah, I think it was exactly 4 minutes into the second round. Knocks him out. Just fucking caught Jiri coming in. Jiri was getting a little sloppy, and he paid the price for it. Some people contested the stoppage. However, Jiri did not. Jiri went out and said publicly that he was fine with it, and he was definitely out. So you got to take the man at his word. I do think it's probably going to go pretty similarly. The only thing I would say is sometimes when Jiri, because Jiri, like, his two big things, he's super long and super durable. So Jiri does things that, like, a lot of people can't get away with, like switching stances and throwing just overhand, switch stance, overhand, switch stance, overhand. People can't get away with that, but because he can take a punch and he can overwhelm people doing that, he does, and he got to a championship off of it, so can't really talk shit about it. Pereira was destroying the legs in the first fight. Even, like, I think it was 20 seconds in, you saw the first, like, real limp from Jiri, so that's going to be something to watch for. I'm definitely picking Jiri. Hey, me again. I don't know why I just said that. I just gave you all the reasons that I was picking Alex and then said I'm picking Jiri. My bad. Fumbled over my words. Told you this one was awkward. See you on the next one. Co-main event, I'm thinking I'm going to go Brian Ortega. He's had a lot of time off. He's still one of the elites. Diego Lopez is still on the come-up. I think Diego hasn't really faced this level. He has fought some good competition, but I just don't think it's quite that co-main event, UFC 303, International Fight Week type level. Brian Ortega's been there. He's come up short, but he's been there. So we'll see. Anthony Smith versus Dolidze. I'm going to go Smith. I like Smith. I think he's got it. Machado Gary versus Michael Page, we talked about before. Final thoughts, I think I'm going to go Gary on that one. And yeah, we'll wrap it up there. I know it's a short episode, but we're getting back on track. One a week again. I think I am going to change the release date to Mondays now, so they'll come out Mondays. Give me like the full weekend to work on episodes and a little more time. I love you guys. Next one won't be so awkward. I won't be sick, so I'll be able to breathe, and we'll be good to go. Love ya. See you later.